Here's your host, Alex Garrett.
And welcome inside to this edition of the Sports Hour with Alex Garrett. And with me right now on the line is someone, we usually shoot the breeze as Queens College alumni, and we both have this love of baseball. He's the baseball coach at Queens College. But Chris Reardon, this conversation is a little bit more special. Tell me why this conversation is more special and about the historic season of the Queens College baseball team.
First off, thanks for having me, Alex. Greatly appreciate it. And why is this conversation a little bit more special? Well, because this past year, couple weeks, culminated with the Queens College Knights winning the 2023 East Coast Conference Championship, and that was the first time in 25 years since 1998. And in that year, I was actually a player on the team.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I want to know any flashbacks, any comparisons you could draw from that year and this year.
Not many, other than the fact that the teams won the championship. Playing and coaching are totally different things. I think when you play, you're more in the moment. When you're coaching, you're more reflective and you think more about things. And this was a surreal moment for me as a coach because, being an alum, and it was really this is something that I had my heart set on from the beginning, getting this program and giving these kids an opportunity to play for a championship, win a championship, and have the experience that I had with my teammates back in 1998. It's a special feeling.
All right, well, you, as the article says, dethroned the Lions, and tell us about that, because obviously Malloy got you guys last year in the ECC title game, and this year it took a little extra work, but you got there, and then you got onto regionals.
Yeah, so we were last year we had a good group of guys. We were built a little differently, just from a team standpoint, some different strengths and maybe some different weaknesses. But we got to the championship game, and actually we're in the winner's bracket, so we had to just win one game at that point. Unfortunately, we ended up losing. We had to be beaten twice, and we ended up losing. So that was extremely tough. But the core of this team was young, a lot of freshmen. I think they drew from that experience last year, and it helped make them successful this year. So this year, it was a reversal of fortunes here. We had to actually win two on the last day because we were coming out of the loser's bracket. What made this really special was the night before we played Malloy for the championship, we were actually down 7 runs in the 8th inning to Mercy College, and we mounted a spectacular comeback and ended up winning that game. It was at that point where you kind of feel like, okay, we're in the championship for the second year, but instead of having just to win one game, we have to win 2 games now against a team basically that had dominated us over the past 3 years. We had gone 1-12 against the Lions. So to have to win 2 games, it was a tall task, but we told our guys just focus on one game and just one game only, right? Just win the first game. So we won the first game, and I think after that, when we won the first game, guys just started to get giddy and start to think about, hey, we can do this, this is something now that's possible. And the momentum and the mentality of the players shifted. They were smiling. They were just really loose and relaxed, and it was quite a game in extra innings, and we won in the 10th inning, so 9-8. So it just so much emotion, so much built up inside, of us, the coaches. We know it's been a long time coming, but so happy for this program, for these players, for the school, for the community. You don't realize how many people are impacted until you actually, win the championship, because you see how many people reach out to you and how happy they are for the program.
Chris, let's be honest, these moments don't really come as often as maybe we like on campus. So was there a buzz? Was there a buzz around campus that you could sense all the way from Henneken onward to the quad?
Well, we won, and it's towards the end of the semester, right? So you don't see a lot of the students now, but you see a lot of the faculty, the administration, the department, and like I even said, you have friends in the community, right? Queens College has such a reach. There's so many alumni. Some are really into baseball, and those people were just so happy, reaching out and acknowledging what we had done, and just showing their gratitude. And their excitement, and it was really emotional. Like it was an emotional ride for a few days. It was such a high where you just felt like, and winning 2 games against a team where we had been 1-12 against. So winning 2 games on the same day against the number 1 seed, that was improbable. But these kids showed such guts, resiliency. Courage. Like they played so hard, and when they faced adversity, this was typical. Like these guys all year, like when we were down or faced any kind of deficit that seemed extreme, we made comebacks in multiple occasions. So this is a special group, and they'll always be champions, and that's the bond that they'll share. And I'm happy. I couldn't be happier for them.
I want to talk about the future for a bit, but let me just say this: you had seven all-conference selections, and you had 34 wins in the conference, which was most wins in program history. A lot of them coming in the ECC. Has the landscape of the conference changed? How were you able to break through with 34? Was it a challenging 34 wins?
It's just momentum and good players. So good players make good teams, and they won 20. We won 26 last year, and we just continued that momentum from last year. We got off to a good start. I think we were 25-9 at one point, and playing really well. We like I said, we suffered some adversity, right? We had some injuries. We lost our starting second baseman, our starting first baseman. We lost our starting shortstop, who was our 3-hitter halfway through the season. But these kids stepped up, and they filled in, and they moved, and they moved around, and they were willing to sacrifice and play different positions, and it just got rolling. It was a big snowball, right, rolling down the hill, and it got rolling, and we ended up at the end going to regionals. We won a game in the regionals, which was great. First time in program history, and we got these kids the experience now, so that they'll be hungry to get back to that point and beyond. And momentum is a powerful force. So when things start rolling and you start winning games, you have a good team, good players. Things just keep going, and we were fortunate.
It sounds like a lot of adapting had to be done in season with the injuries and the losses. But let me ask you this. Coming into the season, any changes and any tweaks you made, whether it was recruiting, whether it was lineup, whether it was rotation, from last year's success to this one to build off of last year?
The biggest thing that we addressed was our fielding. So our fielding percentage was at a 942. So we knew that we had to be better than that. And we looked at the other teams that had won and had been successful. Before our shortstop got injured, we were fielding at about a 9.970, which is very good. At the end of the year, I think we finished at 0.962. So we had a 0.20% differential on the good side for fielding. And that to me was the biggest, that to us as a coaching staff was the biggest improvement and most impactful, the fact that we fielded the ball at a much better rate.
Well, I know you get fiery out there. Any memorable fired up moments you had along this journey?
Sure. I mean, I love, this is a passion, right? We love what we do, and the players are, really what drives me, right? So, and the coaches. So the energy they bring to this every day, right? This is fun, but it's tough. It's not easy. And between the sacrifices they have to make, being a student and putting all that time into being a successful student, and then being an athlete. And then some of these kids even have jobs, right? They have to work and make money to pay for school, to pay for things on the side. So, we get fired up because we're all really passionate about what we do here, and whether we're winning or losing, We always want to put our best foot forward. We want to always represent the college in the best way and represent our families and our program. And so we're going to be excited about what we're doing. A memorable moment, they're all memorable, but the championship game, there was a few moments, but they're all memorable, Alex. I remember everything.
Well, I got to say, in my 10 years since graduating, I've seen basketball, women's basketball. I've seen softball win, and to see baseball win. Obviously, I love you guys, and to see you guys win it is very special personally. You mentioned it as a coach, but how about as alumni? Are you a proud alumnus at the same time as coach? Do both sort of intermingle?
Yes, and that was one of the biggest reasons I came back to Queens College. It was a great opportunity. But as an alum, you want to be able to do something special, right? You want to be able to make an impact for your program. I was very fortunate to be a part of that 98 team, and it just was a wonderful experience. And so for these guys and for this team, I look at it from an alumni standpoint, and I'm so proud. I couldn't be more prouder.
Talk about the seniors for a minute, because I believe you got 6 or 7 of them graduating this year. Obviously, what a moment to leave Queens College, graduate Queens College with, right?
Absolutely. It's a bond that they'll have now forever. And it started with their hard work. A lot of this started with their hard work. And some of them have been with us for 5 years, 4, 3, 2, 1. Some of them just transferring for a year. But the guys who have been here for a while, they've experienced all highs and lows. And they've put in a lot of hard work to get us to this moment. And we couldn't be more appreciative of them.
Talk about your rookie of the year also, Jimenez. Tell us about his performance throughout all of this journey this year.
He was amazing. He started off as our 6 or 7 batter. As things went on and the season evolved, he quickly moved himself up to the three spot in the order, and the numbers that he put up were worthy of Rookie of the Year, and potentially he could have even been a Player of the Year, which we would have had a repeat of from last year when Mark Sisco was Player and Rookie of the Year. So this Jorsix was amazing. He was tremendous. An incredible player, and a freshman. So we have him for now, hopefully a few more years. And he's from Flushing. So that's even more special that he's from right around the corner from the institution.
Speaking of Flushing, by the way, I love homegrown. I also love the fact that while everybody made a do about Scherzer and Verlander covering the Mets, here at Queens College, you have a baseball team that's making the NCAAs and then winning a game. I mean, this is an accomplishment, but I feel like you're not done. You want to grow from here, and that includes recruiting just as well the last couple of years. Just continue that, right?
We would like that very much, Alex. We'd love to keep this, and we will, but we'd love to keep this program rolling in the right direction, winning conference championships, or at least being very competitive in the conference championships, and performing in the regionals, and going beyond that to World Series, and to look, anything's possible when you have enough people that care about what's going on and invest time and energy, and they make the sacrifices that so many of us maybe aren't willing to make these days. So these guys, they were all in, and I couldn't be more grateful.
Tell me about behind the scenes, because, I mean, you and John L. Smith are just a dynamic duo out there. Every game, every time you're in the halls of the Fitzgerald Gym, there you two are. That support system with John and your other coaches, wow, what a difference that makes, right?
The coaches, they work all year round. People think baseball and they think, it's the spring, which is true. We play in the spring, and the season starts way earlier than the professional season. So we're basically starting in January, having our practices, and the major leagues will start spring training in March. So we're working all year round, basically. And these guys behind the scenes, they're doing administrative work, recruiting, developmental work, working with the players, when they have the NCAA gives us allowable hours that we can work with the players during the fall and winter time. So, yeah, in addition to the spring, it's there's a lot more that goes on throughout the whole year. And it's a lot, but again, just winning this championship just makes it all that much better. It makes it all special.
I feel like you never rest on your laurels, though, Chris. So what did you learn from the Lemoyne series that you could take into the offseason and say, okay, we got here. Here's where maybe there were tweaks that need to be made from even the regionals. I mean, tell us about that experience and what you learned during the Lemoyne series.
Well, I was very happy, not with the outcome, but with the way the guys played. And we had a 7-4 lead in the 8th inning. We made a couple mistakes, and we lost the game in extra innings. But I was very impressed by the way that we went from an emotional weekend into a weekend where we didn't before the season started, we had anticipated we could be a regional team, and we were regionally ranked for the entire year for the most part. But after that emotional high of the conference championship, you don't know what to expect. You don't know, and we didn't play down. We played very well. We came at it, and like I said, we had a lead, and we played it well against a very good team. So now these guys realize, hey, this is what it takes. This is what it takes to win games, right? You have to play a certain way. You have to have a certain amount of talent. The coaches, we have to put these guys in positions to be successful. So it's all very exciting, Alex. Like, we're really excited about the future. There's no guarantees, but we're really excited about the future of the program and certainly the direction that we're heading in.
It seemed really special that you won the title, the ECC title on Mother's Day weekend. Tell us about that support system at home as well.
Well, we all love our mothers, and our mothers play a pivotal role in, who we are and who we become, and ultimately what we end up doing. And it was great that the mothers, right, of the players could share in that moment when you had to see some of these faces. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just amazing, especially, the ones that have been here for a few years.
And then Stephanie was there to support you. I mean, what a special moment.
My wife was there. Absolutely. My wife was there, and she's been there since day one, right? 9 years ago married. She's been there since day one. You can't really have this kind of job without the support of your family. So I'm very blessed, as are the players, and they have, and the coaches. We all have great, support systems.
Now, I got to ask you this because I feel like you're not one to relax when it comes to baseball, but are you going to take a little moment to just soak it all in and process it through this summer, or what's next for Reardon?
Alex, I did. I relaxed. I processed it, but we don't stop. We have to think about next year now, and we have to plan for next year, and we're trying to get the roster complete for the 2024 season, and it's never ending. It doesn't stop. But you have to. We appreciated this moment so much, and there was a nice little party after, and people got together and celebrated, and it felt real good.
Tell us about the awards dinner this year. I'm sure baseball was a spotlight with all the success you've had even before winning the title.
Yeah, we like you said, we've had some pretty successful programs here at Queens College, and it's exciting times around here because things are really pointing in the right direction. They're trending upward, and the facilities have been upgraded, and it's noticeably different. So we've had some good seasons here in the recently, and guys are winning awards, and they feel good about, all the work that they're putting in and being recognized for it. So we're just one program that's part of a whole, department, and that has, a lot of good programs. And we couldn't be happier and more and prouder to be a part of the Queens College athletic department and with all these other great programs. And there's many of the programs are already at a high level, and others are improving and accomplishing a lot and breaking new ground in many cases.
All right, well, got a couple other things, because when people see the website and they see, wow, 3 baseball nights earn D2CCA and NCBWA East Region honors. Break that down for us. What does that mean for the layman, if you will?
Just means that we have good players, and they're getting recognized for their accomplishments. And good players perform at a high level. They help the team win. The more good players you have, the better the team's going to do. And that we're very fortunate that we have good players here, and that they want to come to Queens College, and they want to get a great education, and they want to, they want to be a part of our baseball program. So we're in a good position. We're very honored by the student athletes that choose to come here at Queens College.
QC Knight Sports Info Director sent me a lot of info as well, so I could be prepared for this. And I didn't know that you guys had multiple comebacks when facing down, down 5 runs or more. You have multiple comebacks in that situation, and I guess that's what you were referencing earlier, that they could be down 4 or 5, and that fortitude would stay with them through the whole game.
We had a lineup that could produce runs, and you just didn't know at what point in the game they were going to do it. But a lot of times there were situations where late in the game we put on a show offensively, and we just would put a lot of hits together. And it sometimes you get help from the other team, but in many cases we hit the ball. Like, it wasn't like the other team was making mistakes and not making walking guys, but it's just it was on us to hit the ball. And this was a very prolific hitting team, very offensive team. And we had a few comebacks of one time we came back from 10 runs down. They just did what they did. They were we were very consistent throughout the whole year. We definitely were offensive.
Does this change real quick the non-conference schedule for you? Meaning, does this make you want to challenge them even before ECC starts now?
Here's the thing with the NCAA and the way they have a formula. So the teams that you play during the course of the year, if they are good teams, you get better. You get more points, right? So it does benefit teams, especially winning teams, right? If you're going to be a good team, you want to play the best competition in the region. So there's a benefit to that, and it's a formula that they use to calculate the rankings. And if you don't play good, if you play lesser teams below 500, it doesn't help you, as much if you win. So yes, there's definite, when you have these kinds of seasons, there's definitely a different type of approach that goes into the planning for the following season.
Now, I know you recruit, but I've asked you this in the past. If anybody wants to join this special team, this special journey as it hits another year in Queens next season, can parents of prospective baseballers reach out to you? How does that work?
Well, we always recommend the players reach out to the coaches and send us emails and come to our camps. We have a prospect camp on the 21st and 22nd of June, and that's a good opportunity for high school age kids to be seen by the coaching staff. And, the parents, yes, they have to, in most cases, pay the fees for these things, and they have to be involved. But it's really good if the player starts the dialogue and reaches out to the coaches, whether it's a phone call, an email, and takes the initiative to really, be in the forefront of the relationship. Again, the coaches, we understand we have to deal with the parents. That's part of the process too. You recruit the kid, you recruit the parents, but it's really good. We want to know who the player is, right? We're not going to ultimately coach the parent. We want to coach the player. So the players need to reach out, Alex. Make sure that they know that. You spread that message, okay?
And what's the best way to reach out to you, Chris?
Email or on the website, on the athletic department website. All of our emails are listed on the baseball page or in the staff directory. We also can be reached by phone number in the office. That phone number is also posted in the staff directory or the baseball.
You're a humble guy, and while I'm talking about this, does it hit you that you're making an impact on these players as they go from freshman to senior? I mean, you're so humble. I feel like you feel like you are, but you wouldn't even say it. So I want you to say, do you feel like you're making an impact, and how does that feel to you, even through the winning and all the highs and lows?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I grew up, and that's exactly how the most impactful people in my life were my coaches. So I didn't have a dad growing up, and this is what worked for me. And I saw how much of an impact it had on me, and I said, this is what I want to do. I want to have the same kind of impact. And I've had hundreds of players, and we are not always the same. Like, you have it's 100 different relationships. There are guys I talk to from 20 years ago a few times a week. There are guys I don't talk to at all. I mean, it's just, you're going to touch people in different ways. But all we try to do is treat them fairly, give them a great opportunity. And as far as the results go, it varies, right, depending on each season. But the winning certainly helps in all cases. The winning makes things extra special.
Well, Chris Reardon, you also had prior coaching at Caldwell, and now you bring that experience to Queens. And a few years later, look at the impact and look at how successful that hire has been at the campus of Queens College. And I'm honored to know you, friend, and call you a friend, Coach Reardon.
Alex, I'm honored to have you as a friend, and we're alum, and you've seen it firsthand, and you've seen the growth, and you've seen how things have gone, and I hope that you're proud, right? And I hope that you're proud, an alum like I am, and I hope that there's more to come, and I want to have more winning seasons with these guys, and I want all the programs here at the college to be, doing well for everybody.
And I'm so proud of you guys. I know my dad, who used to hang around the ball yard, as you know, for many games. I'm sure he is proud too, looking down and looking at us from up there. So, wow.
Yep, I'm sure he is, Alex.
Thank you for everything, Coach, and congrats once again. And we'll do this again soon.
Alex, thank you. Great talking with you, and I'm so happy to see how successful you have become and the messages that you're spreading. I'm very, very happy for you. So I can't wait. I hope to see you sooner than later. Okay, Alex, thank you so much for having me.
I might stop by the camp. Now that you told me the dates, I might drop by and see you guys for a little bit. So that'd be great.
Great. All right. Sounds good, Alex.
I'm Alex Garrett. That has been Queens College baseball coach Chris Reardon on winning the first NCAA tournament game in program history, winning the first ECC title in 25 years, and the most wins of 34 in the program's history at Queens College baseball. So what a moment for all alum, current players, and of course, Coach Chris Reardon. That's all on the Alex Garrett Sports Spotlight.